Welcome to this video where we explore what it would be like to be the last person on Earth. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be completely alone in a world that was once bustling with life and activity? In this video, we'll examine the emotional and practical challenges that come with being the last person on Earth, and what you can do to cope with such a situation. Firstly, the emotional toll of being the last person on Earth would be immense. You would have no one to talk to, no one to share your thoughts and feelings with, and no one to give you comfort during difficult times. You would also have to come to terms with the fact that you are the last of your kind, and the magnitude of the situation would weigh heavily on you. Secondly, the practical challenges of being the last person on Earth are immense. You would have to find shelter, food, and water to stay alive, and would have to rely solely on your own skills and resourcefulness to survive. You would also have to deal with the decay of infrastructure and the collapse of societies, which would make scavenging for resources even more difficult. However, there are some things you can do to cope with being the last person on Earth. Firstly, it's important to find ways to keep yourself occupied and productive. This could involve setting up routines and schedules to ensure that you have structure in your day-to-day life. You could also find ways to express yourself creatively, such as through writing or art. Secondly, it's important to find ways to stay mentally and emotionally healthy. This could involve finding ways to stay positive and hopeful, such as through meditation or mindfulness practices. You could also find ways to keep your mind active, such as by reading books or solving puzzles. In conclusion, being the last person on Earth would be an incredibly challenging and isolating experience. However, there are things you can do to cope with such a situation. By finding ways to stay productive, creative, and mentally and emotionally healthy, you can increase your chances of surviving and thriving in a world that is completely devoid of human life. Remember that you are strong and resilient, and that with the right mindset and approach, you can overcome even the most daunting of challenges. Another challenge of being the last person on Earth is the lack of purpose or direction in life. Without other people to interact with, it can be difficult to find meaning or motivation to keep going. However, this can be overcome by setting goals for yourself, such as exploring new places, learning new skills, or even just surviving as long as possible. Having a sense of purpose can give you the drive and determination you need to keep going, even when things seem bleak. Another challenge you may face as the last person on Earth is the risk of mental health problems such as depression or anxiety. Being alone for an extended period of time can take a toll on your mental health, especially if you're dealing with a traumatic event such as the collapse of human civilization. However, there are ways to mitigate these risks, such as by practicing self-care, getting enough rest, and finding ways to stay connected to nature. On the practical side of things, you would have to figure out how to survive with limited resources. You would have to learn how to grow your own food, find clean water, and protect yourself from the elements. You may have to learn how to make your own tools and shelter and find ways to keep yourself warm during the colder months. This requires a lot of resourcefulness and creativity, as you would have to figure out solutions to problems on your own. However, there are some upsides to being the last person on Earth. You would have complete freedom to explore and do whatever you wanted, without having to worry about the opinions or expectations of others. You would also have the opportunity to witness and experience the natural world in ways that few people ever could. There would be no more pollution, no more traffic, and no more noise. You could truly connect with nature and appreciate its beauty in a way that is impossible when surrounded by human civilization. In conclusion, being the last person on Earth would be an incredibly difficult and isolating experience. However, with the right mindset and approach, it's possible to overcome the challenges and find ways to thrive in a world without other humans. By focusing on staying mentally and emotionally healthy, setting goals, and being resourceful, you can make the most of the situation and find a sense of purpose and direction in life. Ultimately, the experience of being the last person on Earth would be a unique and profound one, full of both challenges and opportunities for growth and exploration. That concludes our discussion on what it would be like to be the last person on Earth. It's a thought-provoking topic that raises many questions about human nature and our relationship with the world around us. While it's unlikely that any of us will ever have to face this scenario, it's still an interesting exercise to think about what we would do and how we would cope if we were in this situation. It reminds us of the importance of our relationships with others, and the many things we take for granted in our daily lives. We hope this video has given you some food for thought, and perhaps even inspired you to think differently about your own life and the world around you. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.